Hello, 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 chaps. It's been an awfully long time since I did one of these videos, so I'd better do one. So it's turned 147 now, and I was at 160 net income when put at zero before the golden age, but I finally popped the golden age because I had just researched vassalage. So I'm now up to 235 income, and I've got organised religion, I've got serfdom instead of slavery. And the reason for switching away from slavery is simply because I'm at the point where whipping means I'm killing all these plain cottages, and then it takes forever to grow back into them. And I've got like iron on a hill, windmills. I'm just feeling a bit food constrained, and I've got plenty of happiness and health to grow my cities. So don't really like slavery anymore. Serfdom also, it wasn't that amazing when it was just the farm, but now the windmill buff, that's quite significant, so that's another reason to adopt it. Now, Civac, my lurker, wanted me to adopt bureaucracy, and I'm sure that was the sensible option, but I mean, I've got 10 cities, so is bureaucracy to boost one city really that great? I also just like the feel of the extra experience points on the units. I think the extra experience points on the units is about as useful as the production bonus in the capital from bureaucracy, and the extra upkeep units is about as useful as the financial bonus in the capital. I mean, it's not really, you can find disparities, but there's kind of a comparison there, and I just like the experience. I think it's cool. So I finally popped the golden age. Now, Civac has been nagging me to build units, because look at this. I'm definitely stronger than Superdeath and Ginger, the two players who are on the down and outs in this game, but I'm weaker than Commodore, Gavagai, Magic Science, and probably Nafragar and Pindicator as well, though I don't have borders with them. So I really haven't been investing in the military. Hopefully, I get a nice payoff from investing heavily instead into forges and markets and Buddhist buildings instead, perhaps more than other people were able to when they were building all these military units. In particular, I built 7 forges quite early to satisfy the quest to get a free engineer specialist in the same place as the Great Wall. So now, I've now got 5 great person points without having to actually run any specialists, which is quite nice. The downside is this is my lowest food town, so I can't really accelerate this much unless I want to stop working a gold. No thanks. What else is there to say? So to finally building military units, got a golden age, soon to research guilds. Let's actually... So I can sustainably run that much research. And guilds, which means guilds is not very far away. Wow, I used to be at a tech deficit, but that's actually not really the case anymore. I mean, Nafragar founded effing Islam, didn't he? Nafragar has Islam, right? Yeah, so Nafragar is absurdly far ahead, but he's just gone theology divine right. He doesn't actually have civil service. He does not even... Is alphabet really useful for anything? He doesn't have alphabet. He doesn't have compass. He doesn't have guilds. So Nafragar is definitely the furthest ahead player in the game. Also, someone has engineering, which is probably him. So he's definitely the furthest ahead player, but he's not amazingly, he hasn't filled in everything. He's still beelining for, I don't know, liberalism or something crazy. Who knows what he's doing over there? I have no control over it, no border. Yeah, and then Commodore, MSci, Pindicator, basically the peer powers, they might actually be behind me a little bit. I mean, I'm behind on Code of Laws, but I might not just... I think I just won't bother with this, because I just switched civics. Do I want caste system? Where is caste? No, I just switched into serfdom. It's not... Is it even useful? I don't want it. What do the other players have? Where do you actually view that? Where do you even view civics? Okay, civics. So I'm one of the last to adopt organised religion, along with Superdeath and Gavagai and the 3. So I'm the slowest of the major powers. Everyone else is on decent. It's kind of boring that this civics thing has no... This economics civic has no choices for ages until like 147 turns in, and even the most scientifically advanced players still on that. Even between caste system, between slavery and serfdom, I don't really know why Pindicator is on caste system. We've got barbarism. Hey, everyone's on vassalage. Where's the bureaucracy? Is Civac wrong? Then you got monarchy. I mean, it's just boring, actually, at this point of the game. Civic choices. Okay, well, that's very informative. Let's actually go through all of these. No, that's not interesting. It is interesting that I have 7 productions that are going to be completed. I'm going to get a forge, which is just kind of greedy to build a forge here, but it's looking good now, with 3 lumber mills and a windmill buffed by Serfdom and Golden Age. Now it's looking good, actually. +4 hammers, quite respectable. Trireme just to defend this from super death, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't build the trireme. Maybe I should build the trireme. I don't know. I think I'll build the trireme just to put a little bit of discouragement onto anyone planning to mess me around with the transport ships. Catapult, Buddhist Temple for the +2 hammers, Buddhist Monastery for the +2 hammers. Market, took me forever to build this because I ended up delaying it for all the production buildings. War Elephant, finally. Civac's really been nagging me to build War Elephants. So yeah, how many War Elephants do I even have? So, because of Commodore showing off 16 or it's probably 20 horse archers in this town for several turns now, I built a whole bunch of spearmen. I've got 2 spearmen in there. We've got a spearman waiting on the hill there. I've only got 3 spearmen here. That's really stupid. This guy, I don't know. Well, I've got a scout here, so I feel like it's only polite when moving a scout forward to also demilitarize my border a little bit. I really don't know why Commodore just endlessly parks units in vision, like, because Gavagai can see it as well. So why? It's just kind of weird. Maybe it's a deterrence thing, but I guess that makes sense. Anyway, I'll get on to the foreign policy in a bit. Let's continue talking about internals. So cities maintenance. Maybe I should go. So each courthouse is going to save me 3 gold on 120 hammers. It is a 120 hammer building, right? I'm going to switch to guilds at the end of the turn. Once I've got enough gold to just run it at 100%. So after 2 turns I'll run it and I'll research it in 3 turns. So yeah, 5 turns to get guilds. A lot has happened since, it feels like 20 turns ago this was just a kind of boring game, but a lot has happened, mostly externally. And I've sort of missed out on events because I didn't have a big military to potentially attack anyone with. Buddhism, maybe the game should... I guess it's partly because Hinduism got eradicated from the game. Maybe Superdeath founded it and then Magic Science raised a city with a chariot. I don't quite remember. Buddhism is 49%, Judaism is 18%, and the rest are basically also rans. It's kind of frustrating. Maybe there should be extra starting missionaries for the later founded religions. Nothing in there. Hey, this might be interesting. I have 70%. I have the largest amount of world population, and that's even after a bit of whipping. I've got... I'm much smaller than Afrigal, though. Anything else interesting? Okay, this is not... What the hell? 3 different war declarations. Oh yeah, so score... I was ahead for ages, and then I'm not ahead anymore. That's rather sad. Although, I don't have graphs on Alpha on Pindicator, so this is not the most informative thing. Superdeath was ahead of me during his golden age. I assume that must be a golden age, right? I'm ahead of Magic Science and Commodore on gold quite consistently, so I probably do have a tech lead over them. Magic manufactured goods, Magic Science, I think this was a golden age of his, but then he's still ahead of me afterwards. I'm ahead of Commodore, who has 13 cities. I really need to conquer some more cities. 10 is just not enough. Crop yield I've always been ahead of, but maybe I haven't leveraged it well. Power. This is very slow climb. Meanwhile, Magic Science and Commodore, and funnily enough, Gavagai. It's funny how Gavagai is not dead, because he's just absolutely spamming the shit out of Praetorians. Culture, it's not interesting. And we get to see who's been building. How do you deselect someone? Yeah, so this is the ziggurat at play, and this is researching code of laws to get Confucianism. Well, actually, yeah, does he have the production bonus as well? Spiritual protective. He actually doesn't have the production bonus on courthouses. So I think that's all of the economic stuff. I've got. Hey, you remember when I killed when I took plus 20 slavery and happiness in all of my cities because I wanted plus 2 health from an event? Look how amazingly useful it is. It'll only take probably another 50 turns to pay off or something. This city would be on -1 food if not for that, and Yongampo would be in unhealth by the time it reaches size 13. This couldn't reach size 11. How are these different? How the hell are these different? Oh right, this one has 2 forests left. Yeah, and Changyon would actually be in 2 unhealth. So Changyon is actually really benefiting, and Tayatana's soon going to be benefiting. So, it wasn't completely useless forever, the civilization bonus. Let's have a look at it. Isn't that beautiful? See, how many war elephants do I have? Oh, and perhaps, again, annoying Sivak, my dear lurker, I did delay the war elephants a little bit after beginning to produce them, because I thought, well, everyone's attacking each other, so I'll just make a barracks and a stable first. So that feels good. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 war elephants, some of which have experience. Why is there a capital just sitting, a catapult in my capital? I might as well move it out to meet the other troops. Now for the foreign policy. So you probably heard this in the other threads, but it was I really don't understand what went on here. So Nafragar attacked Ginger, and you would think that would just be Nafragar conquering Ginger. But then Magic Science attacked Nafragar. Then he attacked Ginger as well, and then made peace with Nafragar. And then he didn't really... Then it took him a little while to take Ginger. I guess there was a huge battle here. Okay. A really quite big one. Quite a big one. Let's have a look at the current war situation. So, it really is only Magic Science at war with Ginger. Oh yeah, and then Nafragar declared war on Ginger again. So, maybe Magic Science intimidated Nafragar into calling a peace with Ginger, and then Nafragar starting it back up again. And, I didn't really feel like attacking Dar. It's looking like a nice city now, but it took forever to grow up to size 8 with these. Look at that! It's working just this. That's so mediocre. Is he financial? Why is this a 3 income lake? Am I imagining things? Why is it 3 income? Oh, is he in a golden age still? Is he still in a golden age? How do you even view that? I would like... if someone could explain what's going on with those, that would be nice. So it looks like he's probably going to take Iago, and Miguelito has absolutely nothing left. And fortunately, my scouting galley, which went all the way down here and all the way back up again, has just returned. So I've got 3 units here. If I move this out of my capital, do I suffer unhappiness? I do. I suffered... How big is this penalty? Holy shit. What the hell? I guess it's compounded by the... fuck you. Hello. Right, I'm back. Another cold call. So, it looks like I'm not quite going to be in time to... I mean, if I move the X-Men out of Yongampo, that's just too obvious. So I can't do that. It kind of sucks. I guess, basically I'm considering taking Ursula with a couple of units, because I guess Nafragar might just attack me, but, then I'll just let him take Ursula. I don't care. I don't need to defend it. It's just opportunistic. If he doesn't attack me, then that's great. Magic Science will feel a little bit deterred from attacking Ursula because we actually have a land border. And, hey, you know what? If I build a longbowman and put it into Ursula, then that would deter Ursula from being invaded. What is going on here with all this overflow? What? It just has that much? Oh my god. Wow. I guess I just popped... I adopted serfdom and I popped a golden age, and now this town has 3 times the production. 2 or 3 times the production. Wow. Well, I guess I'm building a couple of longbowmen after the catapult come. Maybe before the caterpillar, actually. Yeah, and I'll stick them in Ursula and I'll see what happens. It's probably not... I don't have to put them there. This guy's going to return to his garrison duties, and yeah, nice little bit of opportunistic galley raiding. I think if I put these galleys here next turn... but he can see who's in Sonchon. So maybe I'll only have a single swordsman to work with, because it's a little bit conspicuous if I demilitarize Sonchon. But no, I'll demilitarize it. I'll do it gradually, maybe. Or maybe that's too conspicuous, actually, because now he's seeing both cities get demilitarized a bit. But why do I need to militarize? Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Shame about this galley. Maybe I shouldn't have moved this galley forward when I've got this one anyway, and I've only got 2 units to play with. Whatever. I didn't... Whatever, I'll see what happens. I don't need Ursula, especially since I probably can't hold it. So yeah, I've sort of described what happened over here as I saw it in limited manner. Kind of a shame that this water barrier is just quite intimidating. You have to build a whole load of hammers into galleys to even cross it at all, and then you still have some issues communicating with troops, and like you can't move the troops onto a hill behind the city or something, which in some situations you might want to do. So that describes that. Then up here we have Superdeath. Now, I would like to invade Superdeath, and I believe that I can just put a couple of barracks, vassalage, Guerrilla 2 longbowmen on these hills right here to deter a backstab from magic science. I think that would really work quite well, because then let's have a look at the stats of this unit. Also, is this a fresh crossbowman? Let's build a longbowman instead. Ooh, longbowmen are cheaper. So let's say I'm building longbowmen. I put Guerrilla 2 on this, and then then the longbowman will have 75 hills defense plus 25 from the actual hill. So it will be a 12 strength unit. So it can actually attempt to kill knights that have promotions. So a couple of longbowmen on here would really deter attack, I believe. So I think I'll do that. I think I'm still going to plan to attack Superdeath. Now, he is moving a bunch of horse archers over here for some reason, maybe out of paranoia that we're going to attack him, because what happened to Superdeath is he got attacked by Gavigai. Gavigai took this town, marched a whole bunch of troops up to Uruk, and then signed peace and returned this town to Superdeath. So I have no idea what's going on there. I think Gavigai didn't take many casualties, and by returning this town to Superdeath, his army has been teleported back here quite suddenly. And it's quite a big one. Let's have a look at this army. 5, 10, 15 Praetorians, 17 Praetorians, and 7 horse archers. They've got pretty good promotions on them. And against that, I have 5 axemen, and a couple of catapults, and 4 war elephants, and 3 swordsmen, and no walls. No walls in this town. Okay. Yeah, so... Why did he teleport his troops over here? Is it because he's about to attack me? It seems a bit weird. I don't really understand why... I have no idea. I have no idea what this is all about. Also, I don't understand why Commodore sent a whole bunch of horse archers here. Imagine if Commodore had just sent 20 horse archers here 5 turns ago. I would have just lost this town. And this one. And there would have been nothing I could do about it. Because I didn't have these... I only built all of these spearmen because I saw the horse archers because he left them parked there. So Commodore could have just dumpstered me, and he didn't. And I think Commodore attacked Gavigai and got mauled really nastily by Praetorians. But I'm not so sure. No, I am sure about that. I do think that happened. But then he built the horse archers afterwards. So I really don't understand it. And why would you just park units in front of the enemy where they can see them, where you're not using them? I don't get it. So yeah, am I able to attack Superdeath, or have they just decided that I'm the greater threat? I think Magic Science is a little bit preoccupied by Ginger, and perhaps a little bit satisfied by his conquest of Ginger as well. Because he'll probably get Iago. Although maybe they're racing him and Nafragar. So in sum, I'm really not sure what's going on in the foreign areas, but and for now my army is only just strong enough to defend myself, and I might end up using this stockpiled gold to get a longbowman in this town. I think that would be quite a wise decision. In fact, I'm going to move this axeman out of Tongchong as well, Um, and maybe I'll build a longbowman here and use that to move the axemen. Or maybe should I be using longbowmen against Praetorians? Because I think I should use the axemen against the Praetorians, because the axemen are increasingly not very useful, so that's where I should use them. Also, I parked this crossbowman here just so that Super Death doesn't feel like he's going to invade me. I think I've just about covered everything. I'm a little bit confused about my strategy. I kind of got caught with my pants down by not building units, but you know, that was a greedy play to invest in other things. Hopefully that pays off, because my own lands are pretty nice. Probably nicer than other people's. So my next goal, I don't want to attack Magic Science, because he's strong, and this is not a very nice town. I would like to attack Ginger, but maybe I have to build a third galley. I mean, with 3 galleys, that's 6 units per turn. Are you really not able to sustain an amphibious operation along a single strait like this with 3 galleys? Maybe I should be doing that, but then I'm tangling with Nafragar, so that's a bit painful. And there's no hill next to these towns that I can land on amphibiously to like provide a beachhead if they do take it, and then I want to deter them from taking it because they think I might attack them again over the water, but then I have to be worried about that because of this limitation. So, you know, Commodore, again, he's kind of strong, and it's really super. You know, Gavigai I definitely don't want to attack because he's not a long-term threat, and he is a short-term threat, so I definitely don't want to attack him, which leaves Super Death, and like I said, I think, you know, I don't want to have to invest boats into this tiny little lake here, so I might build a single trireme for defensive purposes, but my route into Super Death is going to be through here. I'm going to put 2 workers on the iron, so that has a little bit of plausible deniability. Maybe I just want the iron. In fact, does he have iron? He does have iron, so I can't, like, sell him my iron and then say, oh, I'm just going to connect this for my own use. But yeah, I'll put 2 workers here, so it's a little bit plausibly deniable. And so that he just has 1 less turn of seeing my troops, except that that's not going to work because there's a mountain right here. So the mountain doesn't really do anything. So the road doesn't do anything really. I should probably just start with all the troops amassed here, then move them here, then invade. This is going to culture flip. Good. That would be horrible. Then move here, then move on to this plains maybe. If I move on to the plains, then I'm visible by Magic Science. Can Magic Science's peak view this plains hill through this hill? That'd be... Oh, well, he can see it from here anyway. What am I talking about? Maybe I shouldn't actually... Yeah, maybe I actually don't move here. Maybe what I do is build the road here, which doesn't have any plausible deniability. It's obviously an invasion move, but it still conceals movement. I have all the troops amassed on the gold, build the road, move them all onto here. Super Death can't see me until I move them here, so he doesn't know exactly what I have. Magic Science can't see me at any point, although he'll know that I'm invading, and he'll probably send a scout. Speaking of which, let's do that next turn. Then I just move over here. Shame to have no defense, but you know, Super Death's not going to have enough power to defend against knights with a couple of longbowmen in to defend against. Actually, how do I even fight war elephants? It's really annoying. Like, do I just need pikemen to go with my knights, or like, because crossbowmen and spearmen and axemen and horse archers and knights and longbowmen, they all just don't do very well against war elephants. So it really is a great unit. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll take Eridu, I'll have some longbowmen here to sort of insurance. Then I'll probably go around here just because I don't want to get into Gevigai, and I really want to make sure that there's nothing tempting Magic Science. Or maybe, no, I should probably go for the kill. I should go for Eridu straight into Nice, then see what happens, then just wrap it up. This is sus. This is sussy Barker stuff, so definitely need these walls, and maybe I should even move an archer out of here. I think I might move an archer out of this town so that the archer can be upgraded into a... Can a Praetorian defeat a can a Praetorian amphibiously defeat an archer? I'm going to check this out. Okay, so it turns out that a Praetorian cannot kill a Praetorian can kill an archer with a couple of city raider promotions. It can kill an archer amphibiously, so I have to be a bit paranoid that he's going to make a galley and sneak 2 city raider 2 Praetorians into it and just kill this if I move any of these units out. So I'm going to keep all 3 of them here, otherwise I might have started moving some out. Maybe this crossbowman was a bit stupid. I mean, he's just there to tell Super Death to not think about attacking me. And that about wraps up this turn. See you chaps next time.